pounding, yelling, "Get out, your room is on fire." My room? Why is my room on fire? I haven't been in my room the whole time. It was an electrical fire. Apparently my curtains hung just a little too long and some sparked. And okay, guys, I'm back. And if my memory serves me, I left off on 4th grade. I might try to push further forward, but 4th grade. And I'll take a step back to 3rd grade for a second, where I had to do these classes because I thought my father was a drug dealer. Have you ever heard of Just Say No? Train your kids to know what drugs are. And that was fun. I graduated that class with flying colors, and my father almost went to jail. He's not a drug dealer at all. He just smoked a lot of pot. And that was fine. I got to take those classes, learned everything. That's when they would bring actual drugs into the class and show the kids what the drugs actually look like. And that went on and with their Just Say No stuff for a long time, until kids started taking and keeping the drugs to use, I guess, because they're curious. Whatever. And that's why a lot of the younger generation can't do that class anymore, because you can't. And then, of course, now we're gonna move up to 4th grade, where I was in DARE because they really thought my father was a drug dealer, and they really wanted us to keep an eye out for our parents that are actually dealing drugs. I graduated that too. Got that nice little T-shirt that said DARE on it. I never really wore mine. I just had it and hung in my closet for a long time. Of course, 4th grade, I was in a different school, and with different teachers that didn't know me. But then they transferred me back because they realized that their maps were a little wonky. The house I was living in at that time, before we moved, which we moved before I got transferred back, was on the border. It was like one house away from the cutoff. And they were like, well, darn, we really messed that one up. But either way, I was transferred back because I moved way within the border of my old school. And got to have all my old teachers back. Temporarily. Oh, this is painful. My back is hurt so bad. Anyway, we went and did all that. Working while going to school was not fun, just so you guys know. Especially when you gotta get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier. Because we work on the water, and there are regulations with that. You have to get up you have to be working by a certain time and not working by after a certain time. So we would try to get out there as early as possible and start working, and we would leave an hour early so that we could get everything taken care of. We gotta drop everything off, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Oh, that's hurt so bad. Anyway, we kept doing that for a while. I was living there for a few years before the house caught fire. And I was in the house when it happened. It happened in my room that I was getting ready to go into and go up to, because I went to take a shower, so I need to go get my clothes and have them ready. You know the drill when you get ready to get clean. And just as I was getting ready to stand up and do that, there was a bang, bang, bang on my door. yelling, "Carly, get out. The roof is on fire." And me being me, I was like, oh God, we're not even using the fireplace. How'd the chimney catch fire again? So I sat there for a minute. I thought, okay, what am I supposed to do now? I can't do anything about that. That's something my father has to do. When a chimney catches fire, he takes care of it. Then my father comes running over, pounding, yelling, "Get out. Your room is on fire." My room? Why is my room on fire? I haven't been in my room the whole time. It was an electrical fire. Apparently my curtains hung just a little too long and something sparked and everything was gone within a matter of minutes, really. I got out. I ran off to the side of the house. I was looking for a garden hose or something to start spraying things down with. The fire trucks got there within seconds, really. It felt like didn't take any time. And they were it was scary because it was just scary. Somebody almost lost their life in that house with that fire. There was like 3 different fire companies that ended up coming in the middle of nowhere to put out a fire, and I appreciate all of them. And there was a full investigation on it because they weren't sure, since they had an arson from their fire company was going around burning houses, but it wasn't that. It was electrical, completely 100% electrical. Because how else would they got to my room to do that? Nobody went in my room. It's my room. You ever seen Bob's Burger? The little girl's like, "Who went in my room?" Yeah, that's how I was about my room. Nobody was allowed in there. Because every time somebody went in there, something got moved or rearranged, or touched in some kind of way, or knocked over, or spilled somewhere, or, you know, my room. But anyway, we're talking about school, and what, well, that was the reason why we had to move back. But I was in middle school by then. I finished elementary, 5th grade was over. No, it wasn't. Before that, I'm going to go back to before that. 5th grade, we had an assembly where they brought some of the teachers from the middle school over, and we got to ask the questions to the teachers, you know, things that we had heard about it. Because you got to remember, you got to think, I had an older sibling that was already in there, and I may have cost one of the teachers their job because the question I asked was about them going to sleep at class. I don't know. It wasn't good. So I got a bad reputation with the teachers right from the start because I listened to my sibling about what took place in there. Anyway, so now we're going to middle school. Now we jumped over to middle school because I don't feel like talking about the rest of elementary school. It wasn't good. Middle school. Maybe I should save that for tomorrow because I'm tired of talking. It's not that I'm tired, I'm just tired of talking. Throat hurts. And I'm not going to get into what happened today on that one. Oh. Quite nice. Anyway, love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye. And I always forget this part before I go. Don't forget to, if you like any of this and you want to keep up with me, subscribe. If you hit the like button, that helps with the algorithm. A comment couldn't hurt. But make sure you hit the bell notification to see if it's marked as, you know, subscribed or all. Because it won't show you everything otherwise. It'll just show you every couple months, it'll show you what it is. That's how the algorithm is working right now. Because YouTube is still, even though it's been around forever, just like me, it still isn't quite where it wants to be. So the algorithm changes constantly. I love you guys. Again, bye.